Who's the most exciting prospect in the UFC light heavyweight division? He's from New Zealand, and we got him here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event. Live from HBF Stadium Festival Hall. Melbourne Pavilion. Not even backstage, we're literally outside. Was that the best fight card in Australian MMA history?
Call me crazy, but make sure you call me when I'm right.
Be good if the Aussie MMA Instagram page would give us a bit of glow up because...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Australian MMA podcast. Today's guest is a New Zealander, a Kiwi, but, Oceania versus the world. We've had him on the show before. It's none other than Navajo Stirling. He is the heir apparent to Israel Adesanya, the crown jewel of city kickboxing, or the emerging jewel, if you will. He really is sort of the next decade of that team's success, and they've got a hell of a lot of talent coming out of city kickboxing in New Zealand. Navajo Stirling spent some time on the regional scene. He's won King of the Ring in New Zealand, a very talented kickboxer before making his transition to mixed martial arts. Spent some time in Hex Fight Series, won the Contender Series, got a contract in the UFC. Obviously just recently picked up a victory in December. So his next fight is against none other than Ivan Erslan, who is a man that has spent some time in KSW. I think it's a Russian-German sort of promotion. But Navajo Stirling, very, very talented. He's sort of made a little bit more money now. He's made a step up in his sort of star profile. So we catch up with him and find out what life is like now that he's pretty well known on the UFC scene. And we, of course, talk about what it would be like if he ever had to fight his teammate, Carlos Ulberg. We get his thoughts on the most recent UFC light heavyweight title fight, where Ankalaev is now the champion. He beat Alex Pereira, a man that city kickboxing knows very well. So it's just always good to catch up with the guys that have made it through the regional scene and are now building a very nice career in the UFC. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we head on over and chat to Navajo Stirling, remember, if you have a gym, an event, you need insurance, hit up combatsportsinsurance.au. Why not talk to an expert? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Navajo Stirling.
Vex MMA has officially teamed up with PRP Global and their brand new website is now live. Head over to Vex MMA to check out their latest gear, perfect for fighters and fans alike. Whether you're stepping into the cage or just repping the lifestyle, Vex MMA has you covered.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. One of my favourite guests, because I was on the hype train way before everyone else. It's Navajo Stirling. Welcome.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
How's it feel, man? You're like a big superstar now. You're not begging for fights on the regional scene. How's life changed?
Yeah, I think I'm just so much more happier knowing that I can just fight whenever. And yeah, nothing's really changed. In terms of my lifestyle, it's still the same thing. I guess it helps not worrying about money for a bit as well, and just being able to fully focus on just maximizing my potential, right? And just being really, 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 really good. And it's just, relieving a lot of stress, because to get there is just, it's a long road that, many great fighters, that we all know of that legends in the, New Zealand and Australian scene, they never make it at that. So it's, not having to worry about that stress, and I'm still pretty young. It's good.
Is it crazy? Do you kind of almost have flashbacks, to the guy working in the warehouse, going mate, you actually you make it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the people that I used to work with, all my old jobs, they always heard me saying that, I want this to be a viable career. I don't know how I'm going to get there. And, some people saw my dedication, and some people, just thought it was a silly dream. And then now literally everyone that I've known in the past or, did know, they can't believe it. They still can't believe it, or they just can't believe that they know me, and people are trying to catch up with me all the time. They're trying to message me, we've been mates for ages and stuff like that, but oh, bro, people I haven't heard from in years, all trying to see what I'm up to. And, some of it's like good, like just
Genuine.
good stuff. Yeah, like people just genuinely like, oh, haven't heard from you in ages, but glad to see you're doing well, sort of thing. And yeah, like stuff like that's fine. But yeah, there's definitely the other side as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I feel good because I just like saying I told you so. And now I'm at a stage now where I'm starting at the bottom again, and to get to the belt and become great, I want to, gather around the fans that believe in me and just say, I told you so again, in the future. So
Well,
it's
I
the
mean,
plan.
you talk about like sort of the told you so moments. There obviously are a lot of people that have believed in you, but like we talked about, you were almost begging for fights, and now
Yeah.
it feels like because some guys in the UFC still can't get fights for some reason.
Yeah.
The UFC has gone, oh, let's go all in on Mr. Navajo Stirling, and
Yeah.
you've been like your career's gone fast. They're giving you fights
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna try, and I'm literally trying to punch out maybe 3 this year all up. So after this, I'd like to do what I did last year and fight May, and then fight September, and then hopefully fight December. So that's my game plan this year. I want to be like the prospect of the year, and yeah, just talk with the fights a little and gain the fans that way. Like it's when I look at like some of the guys that are like in the rankings now, they've had like 4 to 5 to 6 fights, and I'm like, far out. I could smash that out in 1 year. Like I'm good enough. Like I know I'm good enough, and I'm at a stage now where experience is going to be the big thing for me. So smashing out as many fights as possible is the thing for me right now, because I know like I'm real good, and I just want to like measure that level of where I'm at. And yeah, I just like yet again I still feel like I haven't been tested, so I want to get tested. I want to fight the who's who, and I'm ready to fight anyone on this on the in the roster. Like if I get pushed quick or whatever, I don't really care. I just know I'm going to be ready for whatever fight gets put forward.
Cody Haddon, who's also in the UFC, said it's almost harder getting to the UFC than being in the UFC in terms of, balancing outside life, jobs, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Have you sort of felt that as well?
Yeah. Definitely a big relief off that, because I was working right up until getting to the UFC, getting to a contender series. I was working right up to that moment. And yeah, now that I don't have to do that and I can just go all in on fighting, like I've gotten so much better, like in the past like 6 months. It's insane. Like the fact that I can like upskill all in, and then also like focus on the recovery a bit more, I'm like getting in like more naps so that I can come back and train even harder. I'm like napping all the time, and I'd hear like, Khabib and that they talk about it, train, eat, train, sleep. Man, I'm living that lifestyle. I'm pushing my body as hard as I can. And we've got like now I've got like sponsorships, like people like trying to get me in for like more recovery. So I've got the money to pay for like more recovery. But now that I've got the money to pay for it, like I'm getting all that stuff free now, I'm talking like uh what are those oxygen chambers, hyperbaric chambers, you're seeing like elite athletes like LeBron James and stuff using that for the longevity of their career. So I'm implementing that stuff too, and putting all the money into for like I'm reinvesting the money that I'm getting to back into my body, like using the I never like done sports massage before, and I've just started doing that, and going hitting more saunas and all that stuff. So yeah, it's insane. Like the workload has increased. Like now not having a
Yeah.
job, and it's almost like now I'm like, I can't believe I used to work, doing
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to
stuff
say.
now.
And you still trained at the elite level,
Yeah.
and then after you just got bashed in training, you had to go to work.
Yeah. So now that I'm putting it all into recovering better, I feel like, yeah, I'm just starting to like really come into my athleticism, and yeah, just like I say all the time, like maximizing my potential, like being real good. really, really, really good, and that's my goal.
Have you come across any sort of temptation hurdles, new friends that have popped up all of a sudden, some sponsors that want to take you out for drinks? Like, have you been
Yeah.
sort of tempted at all?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've kind of had that for years prior to the UFC
Mm.
as well. Like when you win King of the Ring in New Zealand, like you're basically touted as like the guy that's gonna be it. And
Mm.
like the whole country ends up following you and they want to know what you do next. Like if you're a young guy that wins King of the Ring, that's when they're like, okay, well this guy going to go to try to go to the
Mm.
UFC, and they really like dive into like your life. And I basically just took that and ran with it and told everyone, yeah, I am going to be in the UFC. So I used that platform to kind of spread my name, and then like I was doing like sports, oh like not sports, but like just documentaries about myself, sort of
Mm.
thing, that are on YouTube, like about my like background, and then I used that platform, that King of the Ring platform, to basically like set up my path to get to the UFC because I already knew that there was like no one on the scene for me. So I basically went all in on marketing myself, But I knew I was good. Like I knew I was really, really good. And it was just so like getting the fights to show everyone.
Ah.
And I feel the same way now in the UFC. Like I feel like people like aren't really buying in on the hype, and I'm like, well, man, let me fight, let me fight. So that's why I'm at that point where I'm like, I don't care how many times I'll fight often, and yeah, sway the fans that way as well as the UFC.
Yeah, I feel like that rise is super important as well. Like obviously Conor McGregor did it, comes out to
Yeah,
Maiev when they it's almost like you have to be so active so early
yeah,
on.
yeah,
When you get the bigger fights, you can be a little bit
yeah,
smarter
yeah, for
type thing.
sure.
But yeah, I feel like you're at this era of going, I'm gonna be the most active light heavyweight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the same thing was when Izzy came into
Mm.
the division. People were like, "How the hell did this guy jump through everyone?" And it was like because he fought like 4 to 5 times in a year. As soon as he came out the gates, swinging, and he started the UFC at like 29, and I'm
Mm.
27. I got in at 26. Like I can really like go far in this. Like I'm thinking like, oh, I love the sport so much, and I'm young. I can like I really want to like utilize my youth, and be like really great. Like I hate seeing like athletes sit on the sidelines and they're like, oh, this and that. Like I really want to like push myself and go hard, and then yeah, once I get to those big fights, that's when I can start thinking about my moves, but still, be active and relentless with it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna be look, it's gonna be incredible. You've got another decade before people you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have
yeah.
a decade at the highest level. Did you catch the fight on the weekend with Ankalaev and Pereira? What was your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. I felt like Pereira looked like he held back a little bit. Like I'd seen him, like I've watched him for so long. Like I see him go through, like there's certain moments when he goes that I've like seen 100 times over, and I didn't see him pull the trigger, and I didn't know what it was. Maybe the southpaw threw him a lot off a little bit, but no, I don't know. Like, well, maybe like defending the takedown, but there's certain kicks he usually throws and like some jabs that he'll set up and then start to push the guy back to the fence, and that's usually when it's over. But he was never able to get Ankalaev on the back foot, and just moving back a lot. Maybe that started to fade him, and he chose to reserve his energy maybe instead of throwing. But yeah, it was such a weird one for me, like watching. Like you kind of have like your thoughts on what's going on, but you really don't know what's going on in the fight, right? So yeah, yeah.
Is
I just thought like we didn't see the best him. I'd like to see them run it again.
is it weird that you're no longer just watching like two guys fight in the UFC? You're watching guys that you might have to fight.
Yeah, yeah. Potential competitors. Yeah, for sure. I've been thinking about that for like the past 2 years now. Yeah, the past 2 years, like I'm going to be fighting these guys, and I'm watching everything that they're doing, and I'm wondering like what would I be doing in this situation? And then there's a few guys where I'd be like, oh, I'd be absolutely saucing these dudes, like stuff like that. Like that's, and then like, I never said it out loud because I was like, I don't want anyone to think I was full of shit or something. But yeah, I was like, there's gonna be a time and place for when I get to talk my game, and I'm gonna do it when the bright lights are on. And that's another thing, I'm getting my mind ready for that, like ready for the bright lights. Like I feel like people do the other work like in the gym and they knuckle down and put their head down, but they don't do the mental work and get their minds right for the bright lights. Like for being showing up on the night, I've seen guys that are like better than me, but they could never do it. They could never do it on the time when it really mattered, and they let the cameras, the promo, all that stuff, like scare them a little, and then they kind of want to, like most fighters, kind of want to like slip through the cracks, and then do their due diligence, get a
Yeah.
good fight, and then but I've kind of been like, fuck that, I want like put more light on me. And yeah, like I paid for it in my last fight. Like obviously everyone wanted to see like a big flashy finish and didn't get one, which is fair enough and that. But
Did you
yeah,
cop
I
it?
think I kind of copped it from the fans, So but like that's the thing, like who gives a fuck at the end of the day, If I go and smash the next three dudes, everyone's gonna forget about that, right? So
Mm.
that's the cool thing like about this, and I've known that for a while now, and that's why I have like that confidence to just be like, fuck it, like
Yeah.
let's go. Like who's asking my whooping next, like shit like that. So that's the
Well,
way I think.
you jump in the cage right now against Ankalaev and Pereira. You think you beat them both?
Yeah, I'll back myself 100%. Back myself all day long. The reason why is I've seen everything they do. They don't know nothing about me, So,
Mm.
and that's a risk, that they run as well. Like I think everyone in the UFC could get a shot at the title. It would be good enough to potentially win, like, but it's like fairness as well. Like people grind so hard to get that shot and then they get there. I felt like Pereira kind of got pushed past everyone because of Izzy,
Yeah.
and he was good enough to win, whereas he didn't go for like the Rob Whitakers, the wrestlers, he kind of like
Yeah.
slid through all that, and I was like, fuck, this guy's kind of lucky in a way, but not really. Like he
Mm.
matched up well in the championship fight with Izzy, like just being former rivals, and he didn't have the MMA experience, but he knows how to strike, and that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. I feel like I know how to. I can bang with anyone, and yeah, I mean, people probably hear this and think I'm talking over my head, but that's why I'm like, man, just let me bang, let me bang, bro. So
Well,
that's
hey,
it.
mate, I said it the first time. I said the LeBron James to Izzy's Michael Jordan, and I truly believe that in the sense of, I don't think people realize just how good you are. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. It's because it's like I know the guys you train with. I know what you've done. You
Yeah,
never got to show it because
yeah,
who in their right mind would fight you for $500? It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's what I love about it. But you're right, man. And even GSP said something similar about like when you're the world champion, everyone's studying you. Every
yeah,
fight, every round, every minute. Uh Pereira probably has no idea you exist. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So it's like you
yeah,
said, it's almost weirdly unfair.
yeah. And then my gym has gone up against him countless times. If anyone's got the tools, it's
Mm.
it's me and my coaches. I've been watching this guy since I was 19. Like I knew Pereira before the UFC did because I used to watch all the
Yeah.
glory fighters, all the guys that, even all the great middleweights before him, like Joe Schilling and Adam Levin and all those guys, the OGs, like they were in glory, like well before for him and when Izzy and that came along. So I've been watching kickboxing for so long, and I know like most of all of his best moves and what he likes to do. And yeah, but obviously none of these guys know fuck all about me, and there's like little to no tape on me out
Oh
there
yeah.
because like all of my fights are all like held behind like CSN and like some of King of the Rings
Mm.
like deals with like I don't know TVNZ or Sky Sport. Like they don't drop my fights until the next like 8 man that fought Brink comes out or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how they released it. Like they've only just released one of my fights from 2022 where I absolutely like mauled a guy, and knocked him out, like knocked him out with a knee, and stuff like that. So in the years to come, they'll probably start dropping all my fights, and then people will be like, "Oh shit, this guy's pretty good," Like no one saw that, no one even ever saw that Sam K fight as well, which was when I showed like a more part of my game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's held behind a pay-per-view stream. So like people don't even know about that. I've even seen on like some Reddit forums like people like talking about how they're not convinced on me, and then one guy was saying like, nah, seriously, like those fights that he won that no one knows about, like those were like mad fights, and yeah, there's a few people out like diehard fans like saving my name out there, they're really like pushing it. But yeah, it's cool. Like I like it because I get to come in as the unknown and just talk all the shit, and then when it all comes back, yeah, just that I saying I told you so is gonna be mad.
Are you do you read the comments, take a little screenshot, send it back to them when you win, or are you that type of guy?
Yeah, like I get like a few. I'm not one of those guys. Like I'll never ever like bicker with people, and I'll never like go back and forth because people are just sold in their ways, right?
Yeah.
But I do see them, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, just wait, just wait. And it almost drives me like it actual like kind of pisses me off in a way. But that same like thing is like always like pushes me in the gym hard out. Like that when I get like when it gets like personal like that, that's when I'm like, okay, nah, I'm gonna like roll this next dude.
Have you done it with has anyone like in the media ever picked against you or said you're not any good or anything? Have you seen any of that?
Nah, actually I've seen the opposite. Like most media people that have like talked to me or talked about me, they just kind of want to see more of me, right? They just want to see what I'm made of. And yeah, they're like not sold on me yet, which is understandable. Like I've seen plenty of like prospects that, have like never fought anyone, and then they fight someone good and they get smoked. Like it happens all the time. So, I don't blame anyone for that. But that's why I'm just like, well, give me the good fights. I'm gonna be ready for them. And when I win those, then you'll know it's real.
Well, I mean, let me ask you a question then. If your rise happens as quick as we think it is, and another guy's rise continues the way it is, what do you do when Carlos Ulberg's the champion?
Oh yeah, well, Huge basically just someone asked Huge that, and he's like, "Well, they're gonna have to fucking fight." So I was like, "Oh fuck, well, easy as that." Yeah.
Really?
So he said, but yeah, it's just one of those like we'll cross that path when it happens. We'll start talking about that when that actually happens. So yeah, I mean that's I get asked that all the time on my live stream as well. Like when you live stream, that one pops up like every like minute or so, and I have to like repeat myself all the time. But yeah, I mean like there's like it's mean because we have like mad competition in the gym. He's always like just ahead of me, just ahead of me every time in the gym.
Ah,
And
so he
yeah, he
beats
gets
you.
he gets the better of me in
Oh,
most of the
okay.
grappling exchanges and all that. I'm not gonna like sit here and say otherwise. But like it's good because that makes me better. Like honestly, when I'm losing positions, I'm straight back in the wrestling gym, the wrestling training the next day. Like okay, well like when Carlos is doing this, like he's always getting up, or something like that, like stuff like that. And I'm sure he's doing the same to me as well. And it's mean because like it's like a Cristiano Ronaldo and a Messi, like
Hey.
they bring out the best of each other, like, and that's what I like about it. Like if he wasn't there and I was just like toesing everyone up, like then I'd be like kind of lost in a way, like where do
Yeah.
I go from here? I'll be searching for all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know how he feels about me, but I'm sure he thinks the same. Like we're just gonna keep making each other better, and then when that day comes, we'll be able to look back and say, you know what, like regardless of who wins, the two best light heavyweights in the world is coming from one gym, one country, New Zealand Aotearoa City Kickboxing, and that would be huge. That would be huge in mixed martial arts. Uh, yeah, like that's got to be history in some way, and that'll be like all over New Zealand media and stuff. Like it would have to be, and people will like take their sides, obviously, and like try split it up. But no matter what happens, like I've always got respect for the bro.
Could you do a training camp in the same gym, just like a line down the middle and draft?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm thinking like, fuck, how is this gonna work? Like maybe one of us will have to go train with old Lopez or maybe like a freestyle or maybe in Bangtail. But yeah, if like whoever wants to go, I wouldn't
Who's
mind.
picking you? Who's
Yeah,
picking you?
I wouldn't mind sticking my hand up and going against Huge in that, and maybe go train with like Frank and Brad and all them. Like I wouldn't mind. I
Ah,
actually don't care. Like I'm like a no love lost kind of person. Like I don't give a shit. I'm all about I just want to be the best ever, and if someone's in the way, then I don't really mind. And yeah, I think it would be cool. It would be like I'm up for the challenge, if that was to ever come. But yeah, we'll cross that path when it comes. Like let's just get there first.
oh. You're already creating about 10 headlines. Like he's
Yeah,
leaving the gym. No.
yeah. Nah, never, never.
No, I love it, mate. Now, let's talk about your opponent, Ivan Erslan. Do you know much about him?
Yeah, I've seen he's on the pretty big on the KSW scene. I think he was the light heavyweight champion.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen much about him like as a person, but I'm assuming he's like a pretty normal. He looks like a AI generated MMA fighter, like just big dude, beard,
Or
baldy.
NPC. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's just like one of those guys, and um, yeah, like he pretty good with the hands. I saw his fight with Kutalaba was pretty close. And then I think he came on pretty hard in the last round, but yeah, I still think Kutalaba beat him. And yeah, like he doesn't look like someone that I've never fought before. He kind of looks like reminds me of Sam K a little bit more reserved boxer, like will kind of go in his spurts, but maybe has like a more of an offensive wrestling game than Sam did. So yeah, it will be pretty similar. Like I'll probably look to break him down like that, the way I did Sam, and yeah, something similar like that. Like I could see, but who knows? Maybe I end up wrestling him, as well. I've been wanting to like tear up the wrestling for a bit. I wanted to in the last fight, but Huge just was like, oh, just stay disciplined, stand up. So I was like, fuck it, all good. I'll just keep it standing. But I felt like I was way stronger than the other guy, and yeah, he felt kind of weak and didn't feel very advanced in the grappling. So I was like, fuck, I reckon I can take this guy, reverse the position, and get on top. But yeah, I think we were just like, well, let's just close the dub off, close the year off with a win. Like we've come this far. It would be, maybe I don't know. I just think I could have done it, and yeah, I've got the balls to try it as well. To try stuff in the fight, in the high stakes fight. I've got the balls to try random shit. So yeah, sometimes I kind of like look at the coaches like, fuck, can I try it? So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, I mean, do you feel the pressure to, you got the hype, but not only win fights, but do it in like spectacular fashion, or you just collecting
Yeah.
dubs?
Oh, I mean, I've always like thought to myself, I've always had spectacular fights, so I might as well try shit, and if I fuck it up, I can always like come back and go back to what I'm good at and
Mm.
win that way. So yeah, I don't really mind. I'm real confident in my skills.
Just pull guard, bro.
No, I'll never be doing that. That's for sure.
All right, mate. Before I let you go, prediction, May 10th. Obviously, same card as Jack Della. Are you excited about seeing him collect the belt?
Yeah. I hope he gets the W. Yeah, I'm a big fan of watching him fight. And yeah, I think he's pretty stylistically matched up with Bilal. I think he's got it. And yeah, I hope he flatlines the bro and brings about back to this side of the world. Be sick.
Lovely. And how's it going down with your fight, May 10th?
Yeah, probably look to come in with a knockout this time round. Definitely a stoppage. I'm gunning for the stoppage, so don't know what round, maybe round 2. So we'll see what happens.
Lovely. Maybe you can get that. You know that guy in the contender series, how he got the victory because the other guy didn't even show up because he was too scared? Maybe you'll
Yeah,
get that one. But
yeah,
oh, mate,
sweet, bro.
you're an absolute legend. I really appreciate the time, and I can't wait to see you fight. And I'm glad that life's doing well, mate. You really deserve
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Cheers, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.